Hey, it's Joe Glines. In this video, I want to demonstrate how you can easily set and pull configuration files. The easiest way is just built-in stuff using the iniRead, write, and update file commands. So let's start off right here. This right here is AutoHotkey Studio. I have this script right here loaded. This is site. I have it side by side, so I'm going to load the ini file once we see it in here, just so we can see what's happening inside the file. So the first thing we want to do is hey, there's no file, right? Let's say I was working on something and I wanted a setting set that later when I reopen my program, it can go read it if it's been detected, right? So so for that, we're going to start off with the iniWrite, and it's going to ask you what's the value. So this is the content, the actual thing you're going to have in a key value pair. It's the value, right? So this will go in quotes. And we'll say, how cool. And then we need the file name. Now it's going to save it in the local directory if you don't give it a path. So let's just keep it simple. And we'll say settings.ini. And then we're going to do the section. Now the section, it's broken into hierarchical things, which is, at first, it's kind of a bummer, but once you get used to it, you realize how great it is because it allows you to have different key value keys in different areas. Otherwise, it wouldn't know which one you're pulling from. And if you use the same one twice, you're SOL. So here, I'm going to say section is main. Right, we're going to make up a topic, a section called main, and the key, this is the key that's going to go with that value that was at the second parameter. So this is going to be start. All right, it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to save this, and actually it's not running. I'm going to launch it, and now when I run it, we're going to see. Hopefully, all right. So I put my settings.ini file right in here. I think in ini were initialization files from Windows, and it was something that a program would go look to see what's there to help it configure itself when it launches. And we're going to drag it up in here. And so now we can see. Now look, we created the main, right? And that was this section. And under it, there's a key called start, and the value was how cool, right? So it's that simple. So now that we've written it, let's and it's available, let's pull it. So iniRead, the next one down. Now here, what are we going to store it in? We're going to say var. That's going to be what we drop it into as a variable. File name, so this is going to be settings.ini. The section, of course, a section is main. And our key is start. And I don't remember what the default does. Honestly, I don't. Right at this point, I don't care. When we do this, we're going to want to put a message box and say var. So this is going to call this, and then it's going to throw what it returned into a message box. So I'm going to save this, reload it, run it, and look, it pulled how cool from this file, right? And I could probably stop the video right here, right, and just say, look, that's how easy it is. But let's say we wanted to add another section in here. So let's go back into the iniWrite, and let's do this one. So iniWrite, second try, and then let's add another one. But instead of first let's add another key. So start, let's say end, and second try, end value. And then let's go ahead and read start. It's going to be fine. And var, and we'll do that one, and we'll do var 2. This is with the variable we're going to store the thing. But in start, this one we want to be end, right? That's the key under main. Notice both of these, and the spacing doesn't matter. So let me go ahead and put this like this so they line up a little bit better, right? So both of these, we're looking under the sections main, and I'm looking for a start and an end. Now, right now, this doesn't have an end because we haven't written it. But once I run this, I'm going to run it all at once. And here, I can change this to var, and then we'll put in a tab. And then we'll just put the second one. We're not going to put a quote to help understand it. So var 2. Well, all right, let's do this. Let's do end section. End section, put a space, let's put colon, make it kind of pretty. And here we'll say start section, colon, space, there. Now I'm going to save this, reload it, and run it. And so notice second try here and second try in value. And here we just need to click here to show that it updated. So it's really, I mean, I'm not sure how much more simple it could be. It's a little confusing. I know the first time I used it, I had some little weirdness going on. But once you start understanding, especially how key value pairs work, right? That's a big one. Let's say we wanted to add, and that's how you can update it, right? It's just you still use the write, you still use the read. There's a couple other there's any delete. So if we want to remove a key value pair, you can do that. And I thought there was one other, but I don't see it there. But let's go ahead and add. Let's comment that out. We'll stick with. We'll duplicate that.
Detected at the front door.
And we'll put a 3 down here. Let's comment that out, and let's just go with var3. So that's gonna now. But what I wanted to do was let's write a new, just so you can see it in the other file. Caps lock is on. New section, and so instead of under main, we're going to put this under sub setting, and let's call this new value, right? And so now just remember we need to update this one down here. So sorry, right here. So setting is still reading the same file. This is going to be, what was our new one? Sub setting. See how the IntelliSense is popping up with the words already in my list? This is, oh, I should not have put that in quotes. Glad I noticed that. It would not have liked that. So this next one is the new value. New, is that the, sorry, is that the, yeah, because that's the key, and this is the value. So new underscore value. So anyway, AutoHotkey Studio is great at looking at what's in your document. And so let's save it, reload it, run it. Hey, look, we grabbed the new section, which is what we set up here. It pulled it back into var3. And if we come over here, notice now how there's a whole new section, right? And this is how, you know what I should have done? Let's add one more. And actually, I'm going to borrow from here, copy it, and I'm going to change this one to be subsetting. And the point is, I should change it to third try, but it doesn't really matter, right? What I wanted to show here was this way we can have start here and start here. They can be the same thing. If we didn't have these sections, it would have overwritten itself, right? So this allows us to compartmentalize, and you just make sure you make your sections mutually exclusive and subsettings. Of course, inside a subsetting, we can't have the same thing twice. There is, let's see if we can pull this up real quickly. I should have looked it up beforehand. I know there's some sort of a character limit on the iniWrite. I don't know why I didn't jump to that. Usually it's good about it. Value of the text long and broken. Okay, so you can break it up in subsections. The pairs, yeah. Values longer than 65,000 characters can be written to the file, but may present inconsistent results. So yeah, anyway. So basically it's saying don't worry about the length of the things. Yeah, super, super helpful if you're trying to remember like where you are in a process, or after you establish credentials for somebody and you want to keep them and throw them into like a list view or a drop down they can pick and choose from, right? It's one of the nice things once you get used to, you know, you build your script and you make it easy for people to use. The next level to me is to possibly throw in a GUI and then have settings into a file that you can then pull from, and just makes it much easier, right? Much easier for the user, and makes it seem more, I don't know if professional is the right word, but leveled up. The other thing I use it for often, and you've probably seen this in my API calls, is I keep my credentials outside of my file, my main file, and that way if someone says, hey, can I see your API call and the blah, 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 I can give them this script. I don't give them my ini files, which has all my credentials. And so I don't have to worry that like I'm accidentally sharing my passwords or tokens, right? So it's a super easy way. And I built a script that actually writes the things for me, just not without the actual token value or key, password. I go populate that. But the whole reading and writing, it's in my first call, writes the syntax for there, creates the actual ini file with the keys that I normally use, and then I just put in the the correct value. So I hope that helps. It's a super awesome way to kind of dial up and think of different ways you can do stuff in AutoHotkey. Cheers.